Yeah, I see that there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're ready to rock. Good evening, everyone. CSD meeting. 17th of September. Ian, please, apologies for absence.
Yes, Chair, two apologies. Councillor Pamela Erasmus and Councillor Sarah Keaton.
Thank you. Right. Declarations of interest. No. Item number 3, minutes of the previous meeting of the committee. That would be the 30th of July when
There was no meeting then, Chair. That's my fault, really. The actual last, I have prepared the minutes for the June meeting, but should that be deferred to the next meeting for approval?
Yes, we'll defer that minute, those minutes, yes. Item number 4, outstanding actions from previous meetings.
There's three outstanding, Mr. Chair. Chair.
Yeah.
First one, number 34. I had to email the clerk, who in conjunction with the chair, yourself, to seek clarification on the need for SUDS requirement for Swansea City Council in light of the surface at Langland Tennis Courts, having only recently been replaced.
Yeah. Well, I think, shall we bring you in on this, Will? And unless Kerry wants to answer that, but the information that Kerry did dig out the information with City, and it was established that there is no requirement to enter into a SUDS agreement because it's basically just a gentle surface that's going on what is the existing court number 3 used as a basketball court. You got any more to put on that?
Well, firstly, I think it's great that we don't have to pay for the SUDS, because I think when we had a quote for it, Kerry, it was like 17,000 or 14,000, one of those figures. I can't remember.
It was going to be about 12, I think it was.
Yeah. So I think that's really, really good. And sorry, Kerry was coming in there.
Okay.
Sorry, it was 17,000. Prepared a report just for the SUDS.
Yeah.
We didn't actually get into a quote for putting the SUDS in.
Right. Okay. So that probably would have ended up being like 20 grand. So that's a real big saving there. So
Oh yeah, sure.
luckily, we managed to avoid that. So that was good. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because it's
go on a holiday with that.
Yeah. Yeah. You can, Ian. That's how much your holidays cost. Much cheaper. Anyway, so that's very good. I mean, obviously, Kerry has been chasing up the contractor quite a lot. So thanks to her for that. So. I think we're just waiting on the final prices, because when I met them down there last week, there was several questions that they were asking. For example, where the court joins to Swansea Council's court, it was determined by a conversation down there that probably needs to be some kind of
between 3 and 4.
Yeah, so there needs to be some kind of concrete strip, because if they develop that site that they're talking about, then obviously it'll break our court up. So there's a couple of little things that were discussed, but I think it's in hand, and hopefully we'll be able to do it before Christmas, which would be really good if possible.
We have got it down on the agenda as item number 10, so we may come back to that. What was the other point, Ian?
The second action is I required to email the clerk again, seeking clarification whether she had received an email from Councillor Sarah Keaton relating to the removal of graffiti from Mumble Skate Park. And I can't remember, I think it did reply to me, Kerry, but I can't remember what the result was, to be honest.
I did, and I'm aware that it's an agenda item later on. So do you want me to update here, or do you want me to update in the agenda item?
We'll pick it up later. So I might have something about this graffiti business.
So, and the last outstanding item is for me to invite the PCSO Patrick to our next meeting. Well, I have emailed him, I've left voicemail messages, and I haven't actually seen him. I normally see him with coffee with friends or something like that, or in the street. I've seen him for weeks. I saw Angela on Tuesday, and perhaps I should have mentioned it to her, but I haven't seen Patrick. So, should I leave that for the time being?
Yeah. Leave it open, because it's nice to have them there.
Yeah. Okay.
A general invitation, anyway.
Yes.
There's a lot going on one way and another. Okay, from the RFO, budget monitoring reports, have you all looked at that? Little change in any of that. Everyone happy with that?
Yeah, very happy.
Okay, item number 6, the budget 2026, 2027. Well, if you've got any, well, sure, one of you, some aspirational ideas, for a future budget. All I would say is that you don't have to present it now, but we have until the 31st of October.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if we've got time, we could discuss a few of the potential ideas that people might have, but it depends if how the agenda's, how you think the agenda looks.
I think the agenda, there's always room for that. We've got another item on the agenda, the community bus. So that's something that we may need to put on another for next year. We haven't
After
had,
standing elections will have to be.
we haven't heard anything from
Yeah,
Councillor James, have you?
I'll update you on that
Okay.
section.
Will all the costs, you know, the clubhouse that we're overhauling, the Bowls Club, all the costs, are they coming into this year then, or?
That would have been, no, so not for the next, but I'm sure that there will be more work there, so I'll probably stick something in, might as well.
For the 26, 27.
What else could there possibly be that we all?
A balcony overlooking the Bowls Green, you know,
Oh, I have grand plans for the place. Yeah.
grand design.
Also the stats for the cemetery, I know we've had an updated quote on that, the ramp,
All right.
that is expensive.
Yeah, it's but something Ian's been wanting to do for a long time, so maybe he could put that one in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's something that ought to be done. It's
Yeah.
What is that in?
well, at the end of Slade Road, there's the entrance into Oystermill Cemetery.
Yes,
It's an arterial route for people, pedestrians or cyclists. You know, it's a big thing these days, cyclists. You know, coming down Sheringham Drive from the upper part of Newton or along Slade Road, and then eventually they can find their way down onto Newton Road opposite the park. Well, there are steps there, and there's a ramp. Now, it's a difficult one because it doesn't lend itself to, shall we say, meeting the full scale for non-ambulant people, wheelchair users. So it doesn't have the length for that. But we did have a scheme that, excuse me, Highways did for us. A couple of years ago, it was taken to committee and committee bounced it. It wasn't, it didn't progress. So it's an opportunity if one chooses to put it forward, because it is a route that's used regularly by people.
There is a sort of access to the side of the steps, but it's like that.
It's not CDE compliant, but
What's your word?
how far is it down from the end of Slade then into the,
It's right at the end of Slade.
yeah, how far is it then down to the cemetery?
it only goes straight.
It goes straight in, does it?
It is literally from the road into the entrance.
I see.
The only thing I would say, which I said to Angela, is we can share the it's called like a it's like a zigzag ramp, isn't it? They called, or I called it. I'm sure it's not a technical term. But what I said to Angela is, although I'm very supportive of that, I know we'll create another problem, because you know, once you enter into the cemetery and you drop down and you sort of bear around it, that next bit is lethal. And I just know if we get more footfall using those ramps, I think we also need to look at something by there, whether it's like a non-slip. So I think you're going to have to do the two, because you're going to create that, which is 18,000 they quoted.
It's going to be
18,000.
You see it now.
yeah.
But I do think you would want something further along, because that bit is really nasty.
I think in light of what you're saying, I think it would be prudent for us to, put this in the direction of city, and see if we can garner some, community investment towards it.
Yeah, I mean, we can. The problem is we are we have had quite a lot of money
Yeah.
of late.
Yeah.
I mean, we could certainly ask, there's no harm.
Yeah.
But
There's
we
no
have,
harm asking the community council as well.
No, none
Yeah.
whatsoever, you know.
I think
It is,
I think with a city, if I can suggest that the road, like road pensions and stuff like that, or natural calming measures are probably more favourable than these ramps.
yeah.
So it's almost like cherry picking which ones you want to throw Swansea City Council way and ones which we
But
can
if-
perhaps do, yeah.
If one was to.
But we would be happy, I'm sure, to contribute from our council budget,
Yeah. Well, it's something,
as it's been one of your projects,
something
Be
that
nice
can be
to
looked
support you.
at, you know, resurrected and looked at.
Mhm.
The phoenix from the ashes.
absolutely.
And,
we call it Ian Steps. Well, Ian's ramp.
the 39
Scotty's
There's
ramp.
only a few things, but they're all different. The risers and the going, they're all
Just like you then.
on the treads. They're not good. But of course, the other thing that compounds the problem are the trees.
Yeah, so slippery there.
This time of the year, we're getting the leaves falling,
Yeah.
and when they're wet, and because of the gradient, you know, it's pretty precarious.
Make a suggestion, so I wouldn't mind looking at something for the bowls green. I know the three stakeholders there are keen to get this phase done and to look at further, because there is cladding I would like to do. I may, depending on some more squeezing tomorrow, not physical squeezing, like, you know, squeezing of a price. I would like to clad the pensioners' hut as well, which I was quoted 12,000, and I didn't know. But some of those bowls green steps, and the third one was Laura is interested in doing something in her ward in Wales, but I speak to cabinet member first, but hopefully she'll have something to put in as well. Like exercise.
Well, that's
trail type thing in Clyde, yeah.
That's great that there's a couple of, you know, few proposals, and that's worth exploring.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got a few, but I won't go into them now because there's a lot of.
Yeah, well, yours are normally contentious ones, was. Okay, we'll move on from that. Oh, there's Phil. Hello, Phil. Okay, item number 7, community bus. Those are not aware, we were hoping to set up a scheme, community bus linking in with Councillor James, City and County of Swansea, and Francesca has been doing most of the groundwork on it.
yeah, unfortunately, so despite even more groundwork again, I think this project is just like a poisoned chalice because it is fallen on its face again. I've had 2 meetings with Councillor James. There was one with Dancer, which I couldn't attend, although I could have actually attended because the leader didn't turn up for the opening of Underhill, so I could have gone to the meeting, but there we go. The long and short of that meeting is Dancer are very cagey at the moment because they don't know with next year the new sort of the Transport for Wales, the new bus system is coming in.
Yeah.
They don't know how this new franchise is going to look, so there's been very little detail on that. And for that reason, they are worried what their future may look like. So what we may find, although I've done a load of work on it, is that we may start something which actually is not going to actually be going past maybe 3 or 4 months. So they've actually said for us, their recommendation is to leave it for the moment. So
So we can leave it open anyway.
we will leave it open once again.
Yeah. What about Barry? Did he come back to you?
No,
He's a city chap
Yeah.
that's involved on that transportation.
no, we met just directly with Dancer in the end, which is the bus company for Company.
Yeah, that's a great name, isn't it?
The Dancer.
Yeah, enough of that now. Come on, this is serious stuff. Item number 8 on the agenda, bereavement support group. This was something that had been put forward by a councillor, and steps were going to be taken to look into it, and we've heard nothing to date. So we'll leave it pending. Contrary to that, item number 9. This is
Chair, sorry, could I just come in on number 8, please? I don't know if people are aware of this. Mind Charity actually hold bereavement support sessions. So it might be just worth us sending an email out to them and asking them if they want to come and host some sessions when we're doing the support cafes from October to December, which will be on a Thursday afternoon. So it wouldn't be a regular slot, but it just might be worth getting them to come down. If you're happy for me to do that, I can make the inquiry.
I think that would be very helpful. It could be very worthwhile. There are people that require and would benefit from that sort of service. That's a big issue these days, that these sorts of things are out there, but they don't know about it. So if we can help in that quarter, that's got to be a good thing.
When I passed away, you get a little pack from the local authority, and they put it with bereavement support in that.
Yeah.
So you can access it straight away.
Well, that would be of some benefit if we had some of those packs in the office. If somebody came in a number of weeks ago, there was a lady turned up for the coffee and cake here, and I got in conversation with her, and she had recently lost her husband. So that could have been an opening or an opportunity to say, well, it just so happens we've got something that could be of some use for you, this sort of document. And you can swat up at it then. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you have somebody here on it, that would be quite a good idea, because I think when it happens to you, what I found is, oh no, I can handle this myself. Whereas you probably can't really.
Yeah.
So if you've got somebody here, you come into, rather than make a phone call to the Guildhall.
Yeah.
I think that would be quite a good.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, I agree with you. That would be beneficial. Yes, if we could contact Mind or just see what develops. Thank you. Item number 9. Now, this is the one that's vandalism and graffiti, and at the same time, there was the issue with antisocial behaviour in Waverley Drive. We've spoken with the PCSO on these matters, and he was going to be coming to speak with us, but that's not been forthcoming. However, the graffiti is still there, and if nothing else, the amount of graffiti has grown considerably, and that's very worrying, I think. Kerry?
Yeah, Ian, could you put council on mute so I don't echo back, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay, so initially done some work on this, because of the way the skate park has been built, this graffiti's got to be removed in a very specific manner, and you can't just get a jet washer down there and blast it all off, because it will take the protective layer of concrete off the skate park itself that's there. So I've been chasing a few companies for quotes, and I've had a company back from a quote back from a Swansea company, which are the only company I can find that specialise in the type of removal we need. The quote has come back at 2,200, and Mumbles Skating Association have emailed me just this week to say that they've been doing some research themselves to try and find somebody, and actually found the same person that I have found, and they have got £300 to £400 left in their pot, and they are willing to contribute that towards the council for the removal of the graffiti. I've previously had Swansea Council down there to remove it off the bins and the benches and things that I could get it removed from, so I don't know if they are still clear or if they're still back. The only caveat I would make is, if you want to make the recommendation that this quote goes forward to council, we would also need to recommend that we suspend our financial regulations, because I've been unable to get quotes for any other company that's do this specific type of removal. So just to make sure we're compliant, the recommendation would need to be that we just suspend the financial regs when we're discussing that quote as well in full council. Obviously, if everybody's happy with that.
Quick question. Quick question. I'm aware that some of the Maverick employees may still be living in the area. Did you approach Maverick as well as to whether or not they could do it?
Yeah, I approached Maverick, and their response back to me was that I could contact the company that were based down south. I contacted them because they do the specific type of removal we need. They are no longer in business. I went back to Maverick, and their next response was that there was graffiti cleaner that I could buy from Screwfix, and I'd have to get a team of people down there to remove it all by hand. But obviously, this company are based in Swansea, and they specialise in they do the specialist removal that we need for everything down the skate park.
Okay, that's great. It sounds like a lot of money. I mean, the Screwfix provides bottles of this spray at about, I think it's about £15 a bottle. I have experience of using this, not at the skate park, and they cover about 1 metre square of thick paint to remove, and it's not that actually that easy to get the pigment off. So although it appears to be a cheaper option to basically try and get volunteers and people down there, the results of doing that can be a little bit hit and miss. So it's really whether I'm just offering the alternative points of view on this to play devil's advocate, as it were. We could give it a go, but we could end up spending a few £100 on doing it and ending up with, you know, a multicolored sort of rainbow skate park, thanks to the you know, the graffiti and tagging not actually fully being removed, and you know, that might not be as an acceptable a look as the pristine park. So I'm very much on the I'm quite willing to go either way on this one. If someone says, you know, let's go and get a team down there to scrub it up, I'll be down there. And if we feel that it's
I don't know if it's something that ought to be a DIY project, but anyway, Will?
Yeah, so what I'd be worried about is that we spend, either way, we do a lot of work or we pay a lot of money and it happens again, right? So why don't we try a different approach where we pay an artist to graffiti and write Mumble Skate Park. That way, you know, it's something cool, trendy, but it also says Mumble Skate Park on it. So hopefully they might take a bit of ownership over that and they wouldn't graffiti over it. And if they do, we're in the same boat as we would have been anyway. So I you know, it's just an alternative suggestion.
Okay, if I could just mention something, I'll bring Kerry and Phil back in. When the skate park was formulated, it was agreed by council that we would not tolerate graffiti. We have a duty to ensure that this graffiti business is sorted out. Now, what Will is suggesting, that's a matter that have to go to full council, but it's already been with full council, and that great graffiti should have been taken away by now. The fact that it's there has been communications in from members of the public about it. Graffiti at the bottom of West Cross Lane on one of the GPO boxes. You know, it's something that you know, it needs to be nipped in the bud. Anyway, Kerry.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, Will, I asked exactly the same question when I first come into council about why it was left grey and why we didn't put some sort of artwork on there and decoration. And I believe that when the consultation was undertaken to build the skate park, this was the response that come back is that they wanted it left plain and grey. They didn't want any sort of artwork on there. I think Phil might have more info on that because obviously I wasn't with council at that time.
The issue of putting a mural or any artwork on there is that should it then be tagged, you would be scrubbing off the mural or artwork along with the graffiti. So effectively, you would have to then pay for the upkeep of the artwork as well as the removal of the graffiti. If you're basically trying to keep it as pristine and grey as possible, you're always scrubbing back to the grey. So I totally get it. I'd love to see, some appropriate artwork on there as well. And fingers crossed, hope it was beautifully left like that. But again, if it was tagged, it would then mean having to get someone like, having to get the artist back in to correct it. And that would possibly be just as expensive as actually having the graffiti scrubbed off once a year or so.
Topics here. We're dealing with graffiti, and I've made my view perfectly clear. Council's already said there's to be no graffiti. It's not Ian Scott saying this. This was part of the agreement, so we have to follow that until such time. If you're going to put a pictorial there in the form of whatever, well, that's a matter that this committee can consider. And it can then be ratified possibly by full council.
Could I suggest that as an amendment that we put to full council that we?
Yeah, by all means, I don't draw issue with that. It's just that, there's no point in agreeing to no graffiti and it's going to be dealt with and then it's sod all done about it. It's just not good enough.
Yeah, so in item 11 there, sorry about my ignorance, but is there CCTV there already?
No.
They're proposing it?
No. Well, it was something that came up at this committee, I think I didn't say I wanted closed circuit TV. I said it could be if and when we had a reasonable agreement with City vis-a-vis the installation of some CCTV. We discussed it, having it outside here at one stage. We've discussed it further other parts of the village. I suppose you could say, there is a bigger picture here, but that would just be a little pun. But is that the answer?
It's a criminal offence, isn't it? They're carrying out a criminal offence.
Yes, and if it's not cleaned up, we're condoning it. So unless we have a change of policy.
Myself, I think we're jumping ahead though, aren't we? Should we finish off that agenda?
Okay.
So going back to your idea, well, presumably we'd still have to get rid of the existing graffiti first.
Yeah, I think you paid no.
Too many places. It's on the horizontal. It's on the vertical.
Okay.
It's on the benches.
Yeah, benches and bins are a bit different, I would think. But I was just talking on
these benches. It's not the picnic benches. It's things that they do their tricks on.
Yeah.
If you get my drift.
See you down there, Ian. That's why he doesn't want CCTV there.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we've touched on it, and hopefully we've.
Okay, so maybe it's a bigger problem than I thought. I was thinking it was just the flat bit on the front. I didn't know it was on the top bits as well. So okay.
Well, incidentally, there is a matter number 13 on the agenda. An invitation to the Mumble Skate Park on the 27th of this month. And Paul Evans, Swansea City Council Community Safety Coordinator. So if one wanted to hear what he has to say, at the same time, if you're there, you can see how much damage has been done, and it is damage, and it's not appropriate. Right, item number 10.
If I may, the clerk's recommendation, do you want that to go into full council about the repair? No.
Yes, but progress, yes.
So I'll put it down as recommendation.
Yeah, we should move it to full council and see what the costs involved are.
I guess we should vote on that though, I'm not that I'm not in agreement, but.
Yeah, are we in favour of that matter, moving forward to full
Yeah.
council that Kerry suggested? Yes, unanimous.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Langland tennis courts, the replacement of the netting around the basketball court. Now, the information I've received to date is that that's going to be dealt with by the same company that are going to be doing the resurfacing. So, have you got any further update on it?
Only what I mentioned earlier, and yeah, hopefully as soon as we hear back, and as long as it's within the budget set, that we can do it as soon as possible. But
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Well, the money for the netting is that's sitting in a pot. You know, that's been approved.
for both, it's both sitting in a pot. Yeah, which is great.
Okay, so we'll keep that for another meeting, Ian, please.
Okay.
Item number 11, which is the CCTV at Mumble Skate Park. Cost is a factor here. If it's considered to be worthwhile. Do you want to come in there?
Yeah, myself and Kerry were in a meeting about CCTV regarding this, and Langland was brought up also. So Kerry's probably best to update on that.
Thanks, Will.
Good shoulder.
Yeah.
Ian, can you mute me again, please? Thank you. Okay, so at the moment, it's due to the cost that quoted to us, it's not possible to explore going down the path of CCTV down there, but there is the option to put in what I think he called, and correct me if I'm wrong, a deployable camera that we can request from Swansea. Is that right, Will? Yeah, deployable camera that we can request from Swansea, which obviously they will put in the area for a period of time. They have also sent me a lot of information that I need to read through and digest, because there's an awful lot of it was quite a full on meeting. There was quite a lot to kind of digest from it as well, wasn't there, Will? If what I can remember of the meeting. So at the moment, it's not possible to put the CCTV in there, because obviously we haven't got the infrastructure, we haven't got various different things. Obviously, then there's got to be that we'd have to look into who's going to control it. Does it need to be linked into Swansea City Council? Have Swansea City Council got the capacity to control it and for us to link into them? So there's a whole option of things we need to explore. As I said, the easiest route would be to go down the deployable request route. Again, I've still got to read the information that was issued to myself. I think, Will, you copied it on the email as well, to actually have a look at what that would involve and what we would actually need to do. So yeah, I'm happy to share that email and the information with members of the committee if you feel that would be beneficial for you guys to have some light reading as well. You're on mute.
I would welcome sight of that.
Yeah, I think so. We did have one of these cameras in Underhill Play area when it first opened. It was like they're like a fly tip camera, and the battery charge lasts about 3 months, something like that, and then you have to replace them. Problem is, if you don't replace them and something happens, you look a bit stupid, obviously. But if we either built it into a contract with Swansea, or we wrote it into one of the staff's jobs potentially, that's a potential, but obviously they'd have to be trained in how to do it, and they'd have to remember to do it and all that sort of stuff. But I think that's the most realistic, because we've got a spare pole, which they cost probably £500, £600, £700 in Underhill Play area that we could use. and you put one of these cameras in. So I think what we need to understand firstly is the cost and who could possibly change it. So if we defer that to the next meeting with actions being, can we price up how much the camera would be?
Yeah.
And the pole to be removed from Underhill play area and put there. And also looking into who would change the battery. And I guess the best and cheapest way would be for one of our staff to do it, but that's down to Kerry, whether she thinks we got capacity for that to happen, but yeah.
So the information received by that camera, is it stored specifically in the camera or is it going somewhere else?
I think there's two options, isn't there? There's two options for that. Yeah. There was one which was.
Because it'd be a bit of a palaver to climb the pole to get the.
No. You drop the pole. You don't have to climb the pole. It sort of like hinges down. Yeah.
Oh,
so you'd be all right.
Okay. Right.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, sorry, I didn't attend that meeting, but I did attend a different meeting in regards to CCTV, but with Langland, so I know it's slightly different area. However, I have got prices coming in for Langland car park sort of a budget up to sort of a high end scale. However, they did mention that there is hydrogen cameras as well, so the hydrogen powered ones, which you can lease, Kerry. So I don't know, that could be an option. So I'd be happy to share those details and what sort of packages are offered. So basically, you're not having to do a huge, like what we've got in Bracelet Bay, which costs like 40k for high definition CCTV cameras, which are linked into the main control room. So what you could have is these portable hydrogen cameras on a lease basis. So you can just say, actually, during the winter months, we don't get any problems. Like it could be suitable for us in the car parks, so that you could have it then from April to September. So there could be like a flexible option. But again, I don't know the price, but I'm happy to share with the committee once I've had them.
Wasn't there at your meeting that the police were agreeing to step up patrols?
So yeah, they have, but not so much the police, but Swansea Council have got our patrol into the car parks for that. But we're gonna back on. We've secured funding for next year as well, and we've altered the times. But in terms of the cameras, just to back up the police and the council officers, we'll look at the price. So I'm happy to share with maybe share those prices.
Yeah. Too slow, first one. Okay, thank you for that, Francesca.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check, because last time I think we discussed this, we weren't sure about the legalities of that. Has that kind of been explored? And
did put in touch with Kerry on that, just so that she knew
it wasn't as
it's not straightforward.
No, it's not straightforward, but it also wasn't as arduous as you thought. Basically, as long as you have a management for where the footage goes and the council know and are happy.
And then it can
So if, for example, anyone, like all the councillors could log into this, then they wouldn't be happy with that. But as long as you've got a management of where the footage goes and you can evidence that's what they see.
Good. Phil?
Yeah, hi. If you could just mute for a second, thanks. Yeah, we're I don't know whether you've seen outside recently, but it's getting darker in the evenings, and the weather has turned. We are now into the winter months. I'm definitely not against having some security and safeguarding, package supplied for the skate park. However, I'll point out the fact it's now been 2 months since we last had a meeting, and it was very sad to hear that there had been a run of incidents coming up to that meeting, resulting in a poor lad being horribly bullied. However, what reports have we had since? Because if the policing and the interventions have worked during this period of time, is this necessary to put in place now, going into a quieter period, and especially a darker period where the a skate park is less likely to be used, should we be making preparations for 6 months or even 5 months time when you know the light is getting lighter again, etc., etc. Just an observation.
Kerry's muted.
No,
You were muted when you called
you
her.
say Kerry again, actually.
Terry,
She doesn't want anything.
Yeah, it's okay. So obviously, because I know this, I think this might be the next agenda item. So I'm happy to update on what Phil's just touched on here, or if you want me to update on it in the next agenda item, that's completely fine. It's up to you guys. You're on mute.
Yeah, we're on mute, Ian.
No. Reset and sometimes have to go through.
Yeah.
So you bear with me.
Okay, can you tell me?
Being aggressive here.
I put me. Very difficult to quantify when the graffiti was done, and similarly, any additional graffiti that's taken place since that juncture. Now, looking at the one of the items actually that's on the agenda is the Mumbles Skate Park annual inspection by ROSPA, and I was quite shocked going through that and seeing the amount of graffiti that was actually there. And I came along past the skate park the other day, and there looked as if there was some fresh graffiti there. So it's there, so we need to remove it. And as for the CCTV, it is something that should be explored and discussed, and whatever's considered necessary then after, we can then take it to full council. Everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, the Mumbles Skate Park annual inspection. Very interesting document, this one. Very interesting. Oh yes, I've had a look at it. We've done very well actually. There's only one item that we're going to have to address, and that is there is a section, the grass is worn away. Now, my proposal would be for Ashley to go along with a bag of seed, or alternatively, some turf, depending on the conditions, to rectify that, and then we've got a complete bill of health. How does that sound?
Sounds fantastic.
Thank you. Right.
Even needs to get that sorted, I think.
An excellent recommendation, Chair.
That's a recommendation. Are we, shall we vote on that? Yes, we vote.
Well, yeah, well, we can, I'm sure we can, that's a request to Kerry to ask Ashley, isn't it, rather than to council.
Well, that sounds clear.
Oh, no, we'll get Ashley to do it. I'm sure it won't be a problem.
Yeah, just an action.
Action.
So, yeah.
Anyway, it's a very comprehensive report, and it's nice to know that the equipment meet all the necessary requirements. Item number 13, and this is the invitation to the Mumbles Skate Park on the 27th of the month, provided by Mr. Paul Evans, the Community Safety Coordinator. So it's an invitation to everyone. And if it's something you would like to go along to, by all means do so. I will go along and have a look and listen to see what he has to say. I don't know any more about it, but we've had a written invitation. Item number 14, Mumbles Skate Park. This is a letter that came in. It's called a roller skating proposal. And it's
Chair.
something.
Sorry, I wanted to come in on item 13, if that was okay.
Okay.
Sorry. So just to give you the background from this safety invitation, this is due to some work that's been going on in the background with regards to the incident that Phil touched on slightly earlier. So this is actually a safety event that's being coordinated with South Wales Police as well. So South Wales Police and Swansea City Council community safety team will both be there on that Saturday. I'm unfortunately on annual leave because I would have liked to have attended as well. And then there are some further things happening in the background, which I need to check whether I can share that with you. And if I can, I'll bring that back to the next meeting, if that's okay. You're on mute.
Sorry, Chair.
It's that finger of yours, Hugh.
Sorry.
Thank you for that, Kerry. Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's just.
Sorry.
yeah.
They didn't count to 3, did they?
It's mine of its own now. Sorry about that.
Okay, no, I was just wondering if we could add an action point for the skate park thing. One of my crazy ideas, I'm not saying them for this year's budget, but for future maybe, where you've got the bit that floods, you know, past the skate park, the big area.
Yeah, put some boats there. All the boats.
A BMX track, you know, a raised one. So that it would go around the sort of perimeter, and then in the middle you could have the suds and drainage area. So it wouldn't matter if it flooded, so that it would just be raised round, right? So that design of that towards the budget for next year.
Well, there's a perfectly good BMX track at Clyne Valley.
Yeah, but no, that's not correct.
Get there. Well, they cycle there.
It's well, yeah, but it's not.
It's professional up there, I tell you.
Yeah, it's too good. That's the problem.
Yeah,
it's too good and very dangerous actually, and it's maintained by people just with shovels and stuff. Anyway, this is different.
yeah.
And the other, yeah, and the other thing for there was if we could get, if I don't know if we could ask if we could fit a basketball hoop somewhere in, and you know, 10 square meters of tarmac somewhere near the skate park.
Good God, the people going there, they're going to be exhausted with all these. Anyway, we're digressing. We're talking about a roller skating proposal.
No,
A ring.
and we went back with
Skate park.
to skate park. But all right, don't worry.
Put it forward. Yeah, it's one of your
Okay, I'll add it to the thing.
one of your ideas. We're always welcome. Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry, Chair. Is that going to be a budget proposal form, Will?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Okay.
Bill's online.
Phil.
Hello. So, a couple of things that Will said there. Just want to come back. Number one, the suds on the site is really important in front of that house. Having said that, I would suggest we take it back to the community, because after all, the skate park probably wouldn't have been built unless we'd have the support of the community for what they wanted there. Whilst I would thoroughly love to see a basketball half court down there, Will, certainly when we started out asking the community, wherever it was 7 years ago before the skate park was built, actually that old piece of tarmac I thought would best be used as a basketball hoop, but there were health and safety concerns around having a half court there because of its proximity to the road. So when the community came back and said, you know, better skating facilities, and the rest is history. However, there are other sites, Blackpool being one of them. It's got a larger area there, and I think City and County touted another couple of potential sites which were then removed as being appropriate places for development along the front. But I think there's a feeling, there's definitely a mood for stuff along the promenade, and obviously you're fortunate to have the newly developed flood defences, which of course improves the whole kit and caboodle all the way down now as well. So I think, you know, realistically speaking, I would want to see this come back to the community as to what they think should go there. Because then we know that whatever we bring forward and propose for that site, which of course we have lease off for 25 years or 23 years now, or whatever it is, that it is absolutely, worth investing in. And just to say, Will, you are absolutely correct regarding a pump track or similar at that site, something that is perhaps a little less challenging than the one up Klein there. But of course, we've also got something on the table, which I think is the next item to improve just general skating abilities, and whether a sort of a rink or a figure of 8 or a loop or something of a flatter variety might be more appropriate. I'm done. Thanks.
There we are.
Yeah, thank you for that, Phil. Your hand is still up. Thanks for that. Yeah, this idea of a roller skate rink, I think it's wishful thinking, but with all respect to the gentleman that wrote in, he was testing the water, as it were, and there's plenty of water there. I don't know if he was thinking it could go there, but I think he was open to ideas. I think he was speaking to a facility for the whole of Swansea somewhere. So I don't know if we have room for it. And, it may be one going in Brighton, but I don't think we can compete with Brighton. They've got an indoor one, and I think there's something else been happening there. What I would ask is, have we heard anything about the possible proposed mugger on what was formerly the tennis courts in Mumbles? Have we heard anything?
We can't.
Not in a position to say.
Okay.
Not allowed to talk.
All right. It's only for those that know that one, but that could be something that maybe a basketball hoop could be accommodated. So there's a limit to how many we can provide. We have got a toy one at Highmead Park. It doesn't seem to get a lot of use, but it's not ideal there because it doesn't have a backboard.
No, that's netball.
Yeah.
Oh, that's netball.
Netball. Yeah, we paid for that. Some of the ladies and the men, I suppose. There's a netball group that operate from there. So it's netball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the second one we've put in. The first one was vandalised.
Yes, that was I remember that. Yeah. Okay. I think, Kerry, can we ensure, please, that a letter goes back to the gentleman that wrote in about the roller skate rink? Is that, it has been, it was an agendaed item, and we would require, shall we say, a lot more information, particularly location and to cost. And of course, for this BMX area that's been proposed, again, it's city land, and that would have to be explored. How would you feel about it?
Okay, what I'll do.
Just going to say, no one shouts at me. I've got the mouse now.
Okay, you're in, Ian. Go.
To end the meeting, if there's no further, we've covered all agendaed items. Other than to say thank you very much for attending.
Cool.
Okay.
Night all.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Leave.
I think you've got to end record first, haven't you?
Oh,
Stop.
yeah.
I have to have some more training on finger use.
It's,
It's. Any mouth.
Oh, look.
This is going to go viral now, isn't it? Well, Community Council can't. It has. Oh, God. Yeah, there you go. Oh,
It's
no.
spending me.
It's still on. The mouse is.
This was something that was